Back when I was just starting to learn to play guitar, I remember my pinky really being my Achilles heel. This was especially evident to me when I started trying to learn how to shred and play some metalcore riffs. I've seen other guitarists have the same problem too. I've heard people say, "Oh, my pinky doesn't work. I can't play that note." I've been there. I know how it is. And I realized that taking control of my pinky really helped me to play chords and licks and all these other things on the guitar a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. Fortunately for you, I've got a really fun and musical way to develop your finger strength and dexterity. It revolves around a pentatonic lick, and it will break you and your pinky free from this painful sticking point. And if you're feeling stuck or unmotivated with other areas of a guitar, or if you just want to optimize your practice routine, then I want to give you my free practice guide as a gift. It's scientifically based and it will quickly take your skills to the next level. Just click the link in the description or go to zachshawguitar.com and grab the free guide there. Now it's time to shred. So this lick is in the key of E minor, and it's based on the fifth form of the pentatonic scale. So really quickly, I'm going to show you the fifth form of the pentatonic scale. Beginning on the low E string, we're going to start with frets 10 and 12. We're going to do 10 and 12 again on the A string. Frets 9 and 12 on the D string. 9 and 12 again on the G string. Frets 10 and 12 on the B string. And frets 10 and 12 on the high E string. Here's what that looks like ascending. And descending. So now I'm going to show you the lick that's based on that scale. And I originally used this lick when creating the solo for the mini song I wrote in the Ignite Emissary and NAD IR plugin bundle video. You can check that out if you wish. I strongly recommend it if you're into amp sims and want a nice free one. But anyway, this lick ascends using a triplet pattern. So we're going to start with the root, which will end up kind of being sandwiched by the previous note and the next note, even though the root is kind of repeated in between, but I'll show you what I mean. So you're going to start with the root. In this case, you're going to use your pinky right off the bat on the 12th fret of the low E string. And you're going to follow back to the 10th fret of that same string. And then once more back again to that E note on the 12th fret of the low E string. So you've got this little triplet. We're going to jump to the next note in that form 5 of the pentatonic scale, which is the 10th fret of the A string. And this is going to begin the next triplet sequence. So we're going to start with that note. Do what we did before and bounce back to the previous note that comes before it, which is that E note on the 12th fret of the E string. And then repeat that G note again on the 10th fret of the A string. So you get this. So here is what we have so far. Alright, so all you have to do now is repeat that sequence in an ascending order for the remainder of that scale form until you land on the G note of the 12th fret of the G string. And what you'll notice is that your pinky always hits several notes on each string because it stays right there on each note that hits the 12th fret. And what I do is, for the exercise of this lick, I try to make sure that I use my middle finger when it's aligned with the 10th fret. The reason I'm saying that is because it can be easier for you to start to develop that dexterity if you want to just use your index finger at first instead. To me, that's a little bit more comfortable, and you might have an easier time with this in the beginning. And then to make it a more challenging exercise, you can leave those 10th fret notes to the middle finger. And of course, you'll have that index finger covering the 9th fret notes. So I'm going to show you what this whole sequence now looks like in slow motion. And yes, when I land on that 12th fret of the G string, I do use my ring finger to get a more comfortable vibrato, but you can do it however way you want. You get plenty of pinky exercise just by doing it how I showed you. And you'll notice how this is an ascending lick if you accent each new triplet grouping. So in this case, I'm using alternate picking, and I strongly recommend you do the same when you're doing this. So it's straight up just down, up, 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 down, like that. I'll show you real quick what that looks like side by side with the notes just ringing out as they're ascending. So to take this even further, and the world is your oyster with this and all other shred lick exercise lessons like this, is to play that whole ascending triplet sequence through the remainder of the 5th form of that pentatonic scale and stop when you reach the 12th fret of the high E string. Okay, so this is what it will look like. Another step further, you can play it descending, okay? And if you really want to impress your guitar teachers, you can do the same thing with other forms of the pentatonic scale. I'll just use forms 1 and 3, for example. Putting this lick into practice will really develop your pinky strength in no time. Again, this lick is based on the 5th form of the pentatonic scale and uses a triplet-based shred lick that happens to demand a lot from your pinky. To supplement your quest for consistent progress in pinky strength and all other areas of guitar, don't forget to download that free practice guide. It'll really take your playing up a notch. The link for that is in the description, and you can also find it at ZachSharGuitar.com. Let me know how this goes for you, and let me know if there are any other roadblocks keeping you back from your guitar progress. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Zach with Zach Shar Guitar, and I'll see you in the next one.